I think we live in a very extraordinary time. It's a fastidious time. It's a time where we would really be doing something else, but we are meeting on a screen because of the reality does not allow us to meet in person. I think that's a very relevant way of sort of talking or introducing the issues we are going to talk about today, because we have been defining our civilization and the way we deal with the world as something that was a human-led development. You know, the Anthropocene was a word that was mentioned on a number of occasions in the past. And the reality of the COVID crisis is that it has demonstrated very clearly that a virus, which we are not even sure if it's a living form, you know, it's a little bit of protein, a little bit of RNA, cannot survive without a host. That little virus coming from far away has absolutely destroyed humanity as we know it. We are on our knees and we are all looking for answers, grasping for new ways of thinking about the future because of something which was utterly predictable. We all knew it was coming. A pandemic is a danger that we have painted on the wall several times. So, you know, the idea that it took us by surprise and that most health systems were unprepared to this is quite staggering. And it shows, I think, clearly that our current system is not particularly fit for purpose. We need to increase the robustness of our approach to the world, and in particular, the way we invest our assets. How can we introduce a system which will allow us to anticipate on the next global crisis in a way which will be more resistant? If I was just the standard INSEAD MBA graduate, I would do the Milton Friedman doctrine. I would do the business of business is business. I'm measured, my performance is measured on the amount of money I can generate for my shareholders. And therefore, I'm good if I have a good salary, I'm good if the shareholder value increases, and I'm good if I'm making lots of money. The idea that shareholders are owner of the business is correct in law, but it is not really reflecting the way our businesses have to interact with society. And there comes this notion of stakeholders. Who are the people that our company should be working with? What is the purpose of our company? The purpose of our company is not to make money. We need money because otherwise we are part of the problem and not part of the solution. But if you want to be part of the solution, we have to be profitable. So we cannot deny that. Stability is positive cash flows. Otherwise, you can talk about something else. But at the same time, at what cost do we achieve this return? If at any investment decision, at every asset allocation decision, at every risk management interpretation, we put the financial numbers on the table and only financial numbers, we are missing the target. Here we are, INSEAD graduates, we like each other, we are, you know, we think alike, we have, and then, you know, we have a glass of wine together and we think about our children, you know, they're going to have a difficult time, and we need to talk about the fact that quality of life is not what it used to be, or things like this. And then most of them go back into the office, close the door, and the only thing that matters is the margin. You know, we've been taught that making money is important, and I think that's one of the reasons why we still have a problem of gender parity, because this sort of macho approach to doing business, which is, you know, you screw them until you get the money out of it, it's just not appropriate anymore. We've progressed as society, so let's try to sort of bring that into our business life as well. You know, we at Roche are trying very hard to promote this notion that it's okay to bring your values to work. Bring them with you. You know, don't take a decision based just on financial return. Take a decision based on the maximization of the impact that the company, with your help, can have on society. And I think that, you know, we've moved away from 5-year plans. We're now into 10 years aspiration. We don't fix targets, sales targets to each salesman. We're looking at outcome on the disease in which we are active. You know, we're trying to really sort of shift this a little bit and trying to make this business properly as a force for good. Now, if you're talking about investment, there perhaps is another agenda, and maybe that's something we should talk about as well. But this notion that business is about values and purpose of companies is something we must make more acceptable. You don't have to be a bastard to be successful. And so I'm proposing a system based on what is known as capital accounting. You know, we need to look at human capital, social capital, at environmental capital, and at the financial capital. And the three of them have to be aligned. I encourage you to go and visit our website. This is an association called Capitals Coalition based in the UK. And we're now doing work to establish a protocol which will allow corporations who are interested in our way of thinking to publish accounts based on impact and not just on income. And it's absolutely clear that a company that reports on impact and reports on in a holistic manner is a more stable entity, will be more sustainable in the long term than somebody who just concentrates onto short-term outcomes. I mean, I suppose you've seen the news of the BP quarterly result. A CEO of a huge oil company coming out in front of us and saying, we are going, in 10 years, to reduce our output by 30%. The share price goes up. And the share price goes up. And we're in a different world, you know. It's changed. The future will be based on sustainability, or it will be very short. I think there's a, you know, business and humanity in general and our civilization has been built around a concept that some are winning and some are losing. So we built that, you know, we built empire by exploitation of third world country. We built corporation by making sure that the shareholders are not treated well. We already talked about gender equality. You know, domination, and we see that in health. If you're trying to kill a virus, if you're trying to kill a bacteria, there will be a reaction at some stage. You know, domination is an extremely difficult concept to execute. So I would suggest that we should learn from this. We should be intelligently including this in our thinking process. And what we need to develop in the future is collaboration.